Hello, hello. Hey, Sinistello. So it's Wednesday afternoon. I took a slightly longer than normal lunch break. I did talk about it at least, and I said I'd be back at around 1:30, and it's before 1:30. But yeah, where we left off was I needed to look at the code from before. This is to get treasure chests working, and the treasure chest feature is working, so I think we're fine there. I'll take the second. There's no second redemption, I'm sorry. There's only one winner and then many oppressal-based losers. I think you were one of the losers, Oppressal. Apologies. But howdy. And hey, Galaxy Inferno. Not everyone can be a winner. Just win Estella over there. All right, get the treasure chests, go through and set all their listeners, initialize them all. That's good. Handle collection based on this stuff. I don't like this being here. Yeah, I don't like this being here. And what is this? Restore input after treasure dialogue. While the main one is pressed, wait. That is very strange. Yeah, that is very strange. Why is it even needed? We fire and forget that, so waiting for this doesn't necessarily matter. Oh, we set the input back to enabled? Even this doesn't really matter. It's okay, though. Hey, Define Evil. How you doing? Well, that wasn't very nice of you. Okay, I'm sorry. You're a winner, Oppressal. What's a synonym for win? Victory Pressel. There, how about that? That's you. Didn't even need to look it up. 10 streams, almost as good as being first. How'd that volunteering go? A champion. Yeah, I was trying to come up with something based on his name. That will do. That will do. Okay, good. Oh, yeah, the arrows look a little weird when you get them from the chest. I should go take a look at that. What was for lunch? I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and like a yogurt smoothie thingy. Epic Cressel. Epic could still be a loss, though, right? Okay, so that looks fine. The arrows, I'm not sure, look great. Maybe I just want them to be bigger. Yeah, we could like double the size of them. And I think we should because right now they look a little bit weird. All right, let's just write this down. Young in terminology. I still say things are baller. I'll never stop. No one can stop me. What are you going to do about it? Huh? This is good. Can jump, can wall move, has claw boots. Sure. Grant treasure, set this stuff to true. That's all good too. Can jump and use coyote jump. Totally good. Good, 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 good. What are we in so far? Treasure chest. This is good. We set the item directly in here. How do we do that? It must be an enumeration that tells it what to use. We haven't gotten to this code yet. These are tests. I don't care about reading through this. It's got to be in the new files then. Yeah, all this stuff is fine. I don't mind this. Yeah. Ah, here we go. Yep. So it's just an enumeration, and then we have something that, based on the enumeration, sets the graphic that we use. Yep, that's it. Okay, pretty reasonable. Well, interesting. It just added these two graphics. It like sliced them out for me. Wow, I'm kind of surprised. Okay. So add real items to treasure chests. Jump boots, arrows, and the claw boots. Had a teacher organizing session for the new semester ahead. onboarding new volunteers. I think we have at least one very motivated, capable person, and hopefully the team will be well organized and thrive. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about this today. My wife and I passed by like a volunteering poster for, I don't actually know what. It didn't have too much information, but there's a website and we didn't go to the website. Anyway, I was thinking they're probably happy to get anyone who can help, but probably a lot of people don't want to put in their all to volunteering. So to have someone who's motivated and wants to make a difference, I think that's really impactful. And just to kind of get along with people there. So it's nice that you're feeling positive about it. How's today's mood? It's actually really good. I was not planning on streaming the whole day. I just kind of felt like I wanted some time off or something. I don't know what. I still haven't fully analyzed it and I want to think about it some more. But I mean, it's the afternoon and I'm streaming and I plan on streaming for at least like, an hour and a half. See how far we get. And then tomorrow will be a music day. But yeah, and all in all, I'm feeling pretty good. And this new game is going well. Did you see the visual effects from yesterday? I want to show you those if you haven't seen them. So let me know. Maybe eventually need to move this. I don't care about this. I don't care about this. And then this, we want to expand the size of the item graphic in here. It looks sort of silly when they're this small. All right, we're going to put this in the polish section. Despite that I take so many notes. You missed yesterday's stream. Okay, I'll show you. Show off the visual effects. Yeah, so before I get to that, I wanted to talk about this. I take a ton of notes. Everyone has already seen this. But despite taking a ton of notes, I still feel like I'm kind of getting better at some of this stuff. So one specific case is when I'm doing playtest sessions. I would write notes like this, like the person started and then, okay, they're customizing their character and blah, blah, blah. And there'd be like 400 more lines in the playtest session of notes. And originally what I would do is I would go through and I'd look at them and I'd be like, okay, nothing actionable, nothing actionable. And I'd go through the whole session. It was really tedious. So at some point I started I put a star here, like they're stuck on the hue slider or something, right? Just making up a bug. And then later I could just go through and find the stars. The newest improvement I've done is just while I'm taking the notes, just have a separate list of action items and just say fix the hue slider. And now I don't have to look through anything here and I can just look at the action items. And all it takes is a little bit more wherewithal as I'm watching the session of oh yeah, that's a bug, or yes, I should fix that, or whatever. So anyway, the reason I brought this up is even here, having all this polished stuff in one section is really nice, and realizing that it has to be done later, or could be done later, I think is pretty important. +1 interested viewer on that one. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'll show this off. I don't know how much of the story you both know, but in short, how about this? Let's bring it back a little bit to the farming game. So let's go to here and here and here. I won't do this all in hyperspeed. Okay, so this is where you meet Sidekick. I saw you talk to those NPCs. You're different. They say you have agency and I want to exercise my agency. Ask me something. So you choose agency and then they answer on their own. So you've probably seen this. It's picking one of the answers and then they respond. So this is your first introduction to Sidekick. Then, this is not what we did yesterday, but I'm still setting up some context here. Then you go into the community center and you press this chair, you leave, and all of a sudden you're in the architect's realm. The only other time you see Sidekick so far is right there. They walk in, they get banished. So what we did yesterday is we started this new game. You are Sidekick. So I can jump, I can double jump, and I can run around. And if I don't touch the controller at all, every 3 seconds, it'll move or jump for me for half a second. So here, it just moved to the right. So as I'm trying to move, it might fight me and cancel out my jumps or make me move to the left. So this is the sign of you starting to lose some of that agency that you had in the farming game. And when you get to here, you just sort of find yourself in a new area. So this will eventually be the desert biome, and we got to flesh this out. And now I'm losing even more control. So now 1 second out of every 3 seconds, I cannot control my character. So if I just held this here, he just jumped and he moved to the left. So here you might try double jumping up to this platform, but it's kind of tedious because like you can't fully control your character. You also can't make the jump, but you might not know that at first. You might try making this and realize like it's stopping me. Like what's going on? So you're supposed to work your way over to the left, which is yeah, like slightly tedious because the character just stops moving sometimes. And then you find yourself in another new world all of a sudden, and now you have no control over your character. Now I can just set the controller down and he'll jump around and he'll walk, and the screen will just get blurrier and blurrier. And this is where Sidekick has now essentially become an NPC. So they don't know it. You don't actually know it as a player just yet. But you'll eventually come back to this game as yourself. And now you'll get items and treasure chests and stuff. And so now I can jump. And now I got arrows. They're all just right next to each other right now. Yeah, I can shoot arrows. And I can get the wall slide boots. So now I can go jump up walls if I want to. And you'll eventually like leave one of these rooms and you'll stumble upon Sidekick. And you'll be like, wait a second, I recognize that voice. And yeah, turns out it's Sidekick. And saying their name kind of like snaps them back out of their stupor that they were in. So yeah, the whole point, the thing I wanted to share here, which I know I need to give you a lot of context for that, is just these effects of like, yeah, you slowly losing control here. And then the visual effect of just like being in a new area. And as a player being confused of like, what just happened? Did I just warp to a new area? But like, it's kind of just the passage of time. It's probably not super clear, but still, it's okay if you're a little bit confused. And yeah, hopefully we just clarify it later. But settling on this idea of like the screen blurring and fading between two zones and keeping you like still on the ground here, that was not easy. That took several hours of thinking through and working on. And so yeah, I got to put it in playtesters' hands and find out, did it work? Is it cohesive? Do they understand what happened here? Because the other thing that people didn't, oh, I forgot. This is blurry too. Okay, so wait, if you go back to the title screen, is it still blurry? No. Okay, we got to make sure the pause menu isn't blurry. Oh, man. Or is that cleanup, maybe? When the screen goes blurry, the pause menu ends up being blurry. We should stop the shader on the pause screen. Yeah. All right, so this has been done. I don't think I merged this. No, I did not merge this. So let's go merge this. Get merge. Not something we can merge? Because I pasted it twice? Okay, there we go. All right, nice. Now we are over to this one. Now this is quite the feature. This is the teleport feature. I have not tested this yet. So I don't know how hard this is going to be to look through the code and whether it just works or not. Merge this. Surprising that I'm here a lot, but I'm not very on track with the game's actual development. You'd think so, but I often do something at the same time. Oh yeah, definitely. And I've seen this happen a lot. I do this in other people's streams, so I totally get it. And yeah, every once in a while, I just want to kind of show this sort of thing off. So thanks for taking a look. You too, Galaxy Inferno. Hey, Zangamad. Hey, Phaedric. Yeah, so this is the teleport ability. I don't know how well it's going to work because I just had AI do this. But let's see. There's no visual effects either, so we'll just like warp ahead in the game. It's working. Yeah, you can't go out of bounds here. Oh my god, the movement that this would do though. I think what we should probably do is yeah, this is like dizzying. Oh man, yeah, it's super dizzying. Because it's instantaneous. You just are literally in a new spot, so you could like zip across the entire world like this. Ooh, okay. We got to do something about the timing of this. A cooldown is good. I think that's the first step we probably need to do. I like the idea of this ability. We should probably also lower it down to be maybe... maybe only like 4 tiles or something. Add a smooth trail. Oh, so what I was picturing is that your character would have like a puff of smoke where they were, and then they just sort of appear in the new place. And maybe that just takes time to do. Like the puff of smoke happens, you press the button, puff of smoke, and then a second later you appear in the new spot. Maybe that would work. Because a trail could work, but you're able to go through walls. So you're not just like walking through the wall. Oh, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we could do it a bunch of different ways. Are you curious how this will play for someone handicapped like me? I think it'll be a little frustrating, that one part, but nothing is difficult about it. It's literally just like jump up to here, jump up to here, jump up to here, and then you're done. You transition here. And then from there, you can just hold left and you'll eventually make it. And then you're done with that. For this part, this is going to be a little bit more involved once you're player, because you will get this wall jump ability. This is very easy to do, by the way. You just hold left and press the button. So at least from a difficulty perspective, assuming you're able-bodied, this is not hard. I'm not going to have like crazy mechanics for this. Even this teleport thing, I just expect you to be able to like go through a wall. And that's the main thing you'll do with this. So yeah, there won't be like a jump, wall jump, dash through the air, that sort of thing. Like do this super fast movement. You shouldn't need to worry about that. Plan on having any walls that are more than one tile wide? Worth checking if you are. I will probably, and I think it'll work. Like this, it's actually not letting me teleport through this long platform here because I would end up in the wall. But yeah, I don't have any other I can test on. Oh, that one will work. Yeah, there's one over here that is 4 tiles big. So if we press this at just the right spot. No, maybe it won't. Maybe because it's got to be a 3 tile wide platform. Yeah. It'd probably work if it were 3 tiles. Let's try it really fast, although it doesn't really matter. I guess the easiest way to test this is just take this and put a couple tiles there and maybe like 3 tiles there. But yeah, feature-wise, this is looking good. Yeah, so we can teleport through that. And for this one, we can't, but I think it's because of the treasure chest. Yeah, I didn't remember that the treasure chest was there. Fine. Well, we know that the 2 tile wide wall worked, so we can test the 3 tile wide wall there. Oh, maybe. Okay, yeah. I mean, I'll test it. Yeah, so this is working. And you should be able to do it from even a little bit farther away, I guess. We could make it so you could only go through like 2 tile wide walls. Although I don't think the distance is a problem. I think the problem is just that it's instantaneous. Like maybe what we do is we create the smoke effect, fade out the player, and then transition the camera slowly over time. Yeah, I still have to put some thought into how we want to transition it. Smoke. Didn't I write a third one of these? Teleportation should have a smoke effect or something. Yeah. Teleportation just needs to be cleaned up. I don't think we need to do it right now. We should probably do this. Create a smoke puff on the player. Then fade the... Well, create a smoke puff above the player. Make the player disappear for like 1 second and then make them reappear. Or even like 0.75. Just, it shouldn't be super spammable. Make them reappear at their destination if the teleport will work. Yeah. Other ideas. We could motion blur the player, but they move through walls, so I don't love that idea. And what else could we do? No, I like the teleportation idea. All right, let's go review the code. Oh, nice. It already cleaned up the comment. Navigation. And did it clean up any code here too? It uses some similarities. Okay. Configure teleport. Teleport ability is not null. Interesting. Try teleport. Okay. To say that there's something that needs to be disposed here. Ownership of things. And this keeps track of a character, but it's not instantiating anything, right? It is making a new probe here, but this is not a Godot class. But it owns that. All right, well, I'm going to do that for now. Yeah, so I got to look at this. Collision rid. Okay. I think this is fine. I didn't see it. Yeah, I think it's fine for now. I think this is the only thing I want to fix. So let's give it this. Although I will check this in first. Add teleport ability. And then I will simply say fix this issue in probe.cs. Okay. Then we merge that and make it so that you actually need to get the item for it. Oh yeah, I'll take a look at this too. We're at 21%. Oh yeah, we got new architect graphics, by the way. I have not merged these yet because there's going to be a little bit of work in doing this. But right now we're using the Skeleseller Mage. This is how the architect is going to look. Oh, well, let's copy it so I can show it zoomed in. And she's really just wearing a blanket. So at some point when the lights go on, she can remove the blanket and you can see that she's just a human and not some like spooky mage. And then the blanket can just be left on the ground. So yeah, Quickie Joe drew her. She's got a hoodie and some glasses. You know, otherwise regular clothes. I mean, she's just a game developer. But I really like this idea that like this spooky character who's banishing you is not really evil or anything. It's just a girl wearing a blanket. And then he drew some walking frames too. Oh, I see. The shadow goes away. Yeah. 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 I think this is really neat. Okay, so this is cleaning up this thing. Then we got to merge this. So git switch main. I'm not actually going to do this yet. Whoops. Git merge that. Okay, it's done. So it implements iDisposable, which means something actually needs to handle disposing it. Should this just be a node? And it's supposed to a query? What is this query? Physics shape query parameters 2D. This is a Godot node? Ref counted. Doesn't that mean we don't need this here? No, I guess it's fine. Okay. Then a using parameter, dispose of this. Because the teleport ability needed this too. Yeah, sure. Okay. Fix disposable warning. Okay, so switch and merge. Automatic merge failed. I'm not going to bother fixing this. Hey, Q's. How you doing on this fine Wednesday? Fix the merge conflicts. All right. So I guess I'm not going to do this right now. Oh, wait. Oh, I already did this part. Didn't have to add this. We got to do that too. Okay. Got the rest of the week off. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I'm feeling good. You know what I think I learned? I think getting up earlier for me is better. So yeah, there was a time my wife had gotten sick and then I got sick and it took us some time to like get back on track with just our routines again. And yeah, I think our routines work best when we're waking up around like 6:45, 7, something like that. And I like starting the stream early and kind of just being done early and everything. All right, so Ring of Teleportation. Where are the graphics for that? Items, armor. I think I took it from here. Yes. As a night owl myself. I think I'm naturally a night owl. Well, I don't know. I'm like, I want to be up at both extremes of the day. So yeah, I think I have to force myself to try to wake up earlier a little bit. Hey, Luna. Tend to drift into nocturnal sleep schedules. Yeah. Yeah, it's also kind of nice not having distractions around that time. Something that's like I love our cat. Abby is great, but her feeding time is probably like roughly like 4:45. I mean, according to her it is. According to us it should be 5, but she starts meowing earlier. So yeah, we feed her around then. It's really really hard to get work done between like 3:45ish because it's about an hour before that she starts getting antsy and she's more patient now. But yeah, this doesn't happen at night. At night she just wants to like sit in my lap, fall asleep. May I stage the 3-1? Yes. Yes, you may. Have you heard of chronotypes? Somewhat genetic, predetermine how well we feel at what times of day. I don't think I've heard of that, no. Although it makes sense. I guess it's pretty much just like typifying early worms and night owls. Okay, this is done. All right, so now we should have everything here. So let's go take a look. We go into here. We can't, whoop. Okay, my bad. It was just randomly pressing buttons and I forgot we have teleport by default. So yeah, I cannot jump and I can't shoot. We can't do anything. But I get the boots and now we can jump, but we can't wall jump. Just making sure nothing's broken here. We get the arrows. Now we should be able to fire. And we get the boots and now we should be able to wall jump. Yeah. Now I should probably mention that you can only shoot arrows while you're on the ground. Probably important. Otherwise people are going to try shooting them in the air and it doesn't work that way. We can eventually make it work that way, but I wanted to keep it pretty simple at first. Probably need to clarify that you can only shoot arrows while stationary and grounded. I guess you can't be stationary in the air while standing still on the ground. Where are the other two not cult members? I haven't seen Kevin, but Matt was here yesterday. He just popped by to say hi. Are you recruiting into the cult? Can I be in the cult? Merge. Branches. AI handled this. Okay, we done? We are done, right? Yeah, get push. What cult? Sorry, can I join the not cult? Are you not recruiting for your not cult? Okay, so now that I've merged whatever that was called, this. I want the, oh, is this on another work tree? I think it is. Yeah, all right, never mind. I'm not doing this then. Well, I guess I'm writing this over here. I want the teleport ability to be locked behind an item that you find in a chest. Add a fourth chest anywhere in the same scene as the other three. I'll reposition it later. Use the sprite located at these coordinates in the attached image. The size of the sprite is 32 by 32. Now we need to attach the image. And the name of the item should be teleport ring, and its description should be grants you the ability to teleport through walls. Should probably tell you what button to press too. Otherwise, yeah, it's not great. Yeah, I'll just write that in the polish section. There's a polish section. So item names and descriptions. Or maybe just like items. Make sure the descriptions all contain input glyphs telling you how to use the items. Yeah. Never talk about not call. Got it. Got it. But on opposite day, we can, right? Oh, yeah, and then shooting and teleporting. I never tested that. Yeah, let's go launch the game. Whoops. Okie dokie. Shoot, then teleport into the arrow. I mean, I guess you can technically do that. Oh, I gotta collect all the items again. I should probably have some, like, cheat that lets me get all the items. I should write that down. It should be a very easy... Oh, what am I doing? I gotta collect it. In fact, actually, now that I realize it might not be that obvious. All right. Yeah. This is pretty funny. Oh, that's what happens. It still shoots after you move. Wait, whoa. Hold on a second. Is that doubling the arrows? No. No, it's not. But if I press it really fast... No, it doesn't do that either. But yeah, you can out-teleport the arrows. Okay, we gotta play a sound when you shoot an arrow. We gotta play a sound when you teleport. Shooting an arrow, arrow hitting the wall, teleporting. Isn't there something else? Teleporting should maybe stop you from shooting since it's a different animation. Where to write that down? Yeah. I wrote maybe L and R should do the teleporting. We could bind them all to that. I'll just add that in as polish as well. Make L and R also teleport. Maybe they're directional. It may not really matter. Chest open sound. We have a chest open sound. I just wasn't playing it right there. But that's already in the game. And hey, Tommy. Join to find out nothing. There's no call. The invitation's open. All right, done with this. And now I just got to go put this in. So now I merge this. I want the teleport ability to be blocked behind an item you find in a chest. Add 4 chests anywhere in the same scene. It adds the other tree. I'll reposition it later. It should contain the teleport ring. Use the sprite located in the attached image. Name of the item should be that. Grants the ability to teleport through walls. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's go get that working. Whoops, did not mean to do that. 21%. I think we'll be fine for the rest of today. But there's some beefier stuff that I could have given this. I do think we won't be able to just use the same codex plan for as long as I was before. I've been tracking my AI usage in terms of weekly quota. for probably a couple weeks now, pretty much just like how you see me do here, where I track it over the course of a day. Like this is pretty much a half day because you can see there's a lunch break from here to here. So in a half day, I used 24%. So I could do 4 times a half day. So I could get 2 days of work done if I'm just doing development. And even then, I'm trying to be a little bit careful. Like I'm using Luna right now. So yeah, I don't think this is great. And it didn't used to be like this. Because like I said, I've been tracking it the same way. Now, granted, the tasks are different, but still, over the course of all of the tasks that I've ever done, there's like an average usage. All right, so I stashed what I was working on here with the tile maps. I'm not sure what I want to do next. Oh right, I want to add the cheat in. I forgot about that. Add a cheat that gives you every item. It should either, if you later try getting that same item from a chest, it should just be a no-off. Hey, Cerberus. Excuse me. How's it going? You have not been in a while, I think, right? Yeah, 3 months. Ah, cool. What? Is that a thing? I don't know what that means. Oh, singer-songwriter. Okay. I've not heard of this person. Yeah. There's a chat history thing. And yeah, you're here 1 day shy of 3 months ago. Oh, no, wait, no, sorry, hang on. I misread that. No, I was right. Yeah, I was right. No, I've never heard of this person. I'm not really up to date on music. I listen to a lot of classical music. Yeah, so this is what I was trying to figure out here. Add proper power-ups for pretty much some of that. Flesh out the dungeon. So we'd add in enemies and traps. I mean, the world is definitely... We got to do this. Yeah, we got to do this. I'm not looking forward to doing this, but we got to spend some time. Sleeves from time to time. Well, nice. Yeah, I get it. I don't really watch a lot of Twitch anymore. I think part of it too is I kind of fried my brain by watching everything at like 2x speed on YouTube. So now when I watch someone stream at 1x speed, I'm like, speed up, go faster. Yeah, we got to do this. All right, I should probably plan each room. Why is this saying that I have some unread? Oh, wow. I didn't realize. Allowed to connect to the internet, sure. Oh, my bad. Oh, she's a singer of that song? Okay, I have heard that. I just don't think I've ever heard her name. Yeah. I rarely know I rarely know band names or singer names. I've been doing more crossword puzzles recently, and they're not like super fancy crossword puzzles. They're just on this website I go to. And yeah, every once in a while I have pop culture references, and anytime there's a name that they ask me about, I'm always like, all right, I know common names that fit the general pattern, but like I don't know their spelling for the name or what exactly it would be. Mostly complain about not knowing how to develop games. Well, it's never been easier to not know how. Thanks to AI. Okay, I should probably do some planning of how we're gonna have these rooms laid out. I should probably like draw this somehow. I don't have a good planning structure for this though. So like general plan. Boots, you work your way downward, knowing that you'll have to work back up. Actually, we have kind of an issue here, right? Like, what do you... In most games with backtracking, There are lots of small rewards that you can get. Like in Super Metroid, you can get energy tanks, missiles, super missiles, power bombs. I guess kind of reserve tanks. That's not really a small reward. Any other small things you can get? I think it was mostly just that stuff. Then there were all the big things, of course. Big items were things like weapons, movement, abilities, etc. But yeah, this way, if you went down some like dead end and you got missiles, you're like, well, at least I got missiles out of it. But in my game right now, if you go down a dead end, there's nothing to give you. We only have big power ups. So we probably need to add in some small power ups to make it so that every area you go to might have something there. Yeah, this is in Godot and C#, yeah. Is it good for 2D, specifically RPGs? Yeah. I think it's good for both 2D and 3D. And then as far as RPGs go, I mean, RPG could mean almost anything at this point. But yeah, whether you're making something like action RPG, like a platformer, a turn-based RPG, anything, I think it'd be fine. I think where Godot falls a little bit short, at least out of the box, is like realistic 3D stuff. I think Unreal just has a lot out of the box for that. It's not to say you can't do it in Godot. It's just, I think it's going to be more effort than doing it in Unreal. Okay, so what small items, small being in quotes, will we have in this game so that you don't feel bad for having to backtrack or for hitting a dead end? It wouldn't be a dead end. Well, I mean, I guess it would be a dead end. Health, I guess. Maybe we have some equivalent of missiles in the form of like super arrows. I'm not exactly sure why you'd want super arrows. Like if they're enemies, I guess it would kill them faster or it'd pierce through them or something. But otherwise, is it really that interesting? Probably not. Maybe there's like a sprint ability and you get like stamina. Go around corners. You go nuts. It's wanted medieval fantasy style. Yeah, I think we got to come up with something here. So if I go play this now, we should. Oh my god! Let's see how many times that happens. Yes, now we have a fourth chest, which is presumably impossible to even get. Oh no, you can get the chest. You then, you can probably get the item. Yeah, if you fall there. Grants you the ability to teleport through walls. The teleport ring. Nice. So if we don't, if we don't have that, yeah, we can't teleport, we can't jump. You find a chest on its side. I don't know. I think those would both make me pretty scared. It's pretty hard to compare the two of them. Also, just because you can shoot around corners doesn't mean you can aim around corners. I imagine it'd be very difficult. In fact, I wonder if any FPS has ever done that. Like a weapon that lets you shoot around corners. Probably, right? But like, how do you use it? Is it homing? There's a way to make this jump. I actually do not know how you're supposed to do it. There we go. I think you just need to wall jump when you hit the top of this, but go from the bottom. This is not meant to be in the game. I'm not going to make players try to figure out some like pixel perfect jump here. And I don't even know how to do it. Yeah, I don't know how. All right, whatever. You can always just teleport. Now, what should happen when you're wall sliding? Maybe you just shouldn't be able to teleport. Just play like a bonk sound. What other teleport do we have? You probably shouldn't be able to teleport while wall sliding. I think it should play a bonk sound. All right. Well, we got the 4th treasure chest in. I don't know why we needed this much code to do it. Probably just a couple of lines here and there. Yeah, the translations for it. The chest existing, the teleport ring. No, this is all pretty reasonable. Yeah, this is all very reasonable. That's everything, right? Yep, nice. Add teleport ring. This is required before you can teleport. Actually, before I check this in, let's move the chest. Because right now it is just floating there. If it's going to be anywhere, we might as well put it there for now. Was it supposed to look like that? No, I haven't fixed the artwork for this yet. It's a human-made tile set. I just like randomly spattered things around. This is what it's supposed to look like. And we can make it look like that. It's just going to be really, really tedious. Yeah. So I want to do some world planning this afternoon and figure out like what's the map going to look like. But I guess before we get to the world planning, we need to figure out what are the small power-ups you're able to get. Before we move on, we need to reward the player in some way for exploring or for hitting dead ends. I think some kind of stamina system could work, but I don't want this to get crazy. Didn't want to tell my art. Yeah, no, it's not my art either. I got this from Itch. But I actually really like the art too, by the way. I think this is great. Like this style at least. I think this looks really cool. But yeah, that is not how this looks right now. All right, so now just really simply. So this is done. We want this. Let's make a new chat here. Choose project. Okay, add a cheat that gives you every item in the backtracking platformer. If you later try getting that same item, it should be a no-op. Yeah, perfect. I've spent a lot. Well, I don't know about if I spent more than you have right now on this, but I've been keeping a list of how much I have spent on assets. Yeah, here, $104 on just assets for just this game. Wait, where'd that go? There it is. Yeah. Hey, Steven. Is it going to be better than seafood at like Safeway? I don't know. I don't have enough experience buying stuff from Pikes, but I assume so. Yeah, I've seen that Mana Seed collection. I gotta say, I'm not really convinced by it. It's not bad. It does look like Secret of Mana. But I think the prices are too high. That's not like this is $15. And yeah, it just doesn't this doesn't seem like it's worth $15, you know? Where's their mega bundle? Was Fresh even good? Like I said, I don't know. Yeah, I would probably do some searching online. But if you find out, do report back. You only spent like $100. Yeah, I'm trying to be a little bit careful. There are some other ones I have on my list that I want to buy. But I've gone through like practically every asset pack now on Itch. And I think I've gotten most of the ones I want. One of the new ones I found, which I really, really like, it inspires something, and I haven't had a chance to think about it too much yet. Where is it? I wrote it down somewhere. Yeah, I don't remember what it was called though. And I don't have it here right now. Oh man, I don't know how I'd find it either. Itch. It was on here somewhere. Game assets. Let me see if I can find it really fast, because I really did like the art style. No, I don't see it. I'll try one more page. If I can't find it, then... Actually, I do know where I could find it. Yeah, I have it in a Discord conversation. Give me a sec. Here. Yeah, that was much faster. Yeah, these characters. I think it'd be cool to make a game with these. I don't know what the game would be, but they look really neat, and the price seemed reasonable. Where? $10? Yeah. And there's a bundle that has all these for 20. I don't know if I need these other things, though. Also, we're going to have like 1 million of these item packs. This doesn't use AI, right? I always got to make sure. Yeah. I don't like using different art styles in the same game. Only complete single style asset pack. Yeah, Solaria looked pretty complete too. Also, I think Super Retro World is good. I use it for Skeleseller. Super Retro World. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen this pack. Well, this is just the overworld, but they've got... Man, I always find it hard to find their entire... Yeah, here. Yeah, all of these. This is also pretty good. You have that one? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I like that. The Solaria one, I also really like the artwork for. This is very charming to me, how they've done their art. Yeah, I like it a lot. I was thinking of buying this. I think the bundle's now like $60 or $70. $50. Yeah, the problem is, for me at least, a lot of the sub games I'm making in Stuck in a Broken Tutorial, I don't want them to all be the same. And a lot of these are set up for like farming games, RPGs. Like, I want to do some things that are a little beyond the pale. But then you search for those, it's like mini golf, and you click game assets, and there's almost nothing. It's like, this is not mini golf now. Mini medieval. It just has mini in the name. So yeah, it's kind of tough to find. Or like space shooter. There's hardly any space shooter stuff. And I mean, there's some, but a lot of it isn't super high quality. Wait, have I seen this? What is this? Oh, is this pretty much it? I was gonna say the ships look pretty cool, but then this missile does not look very good. Yeah. Uh, Forager coded. Hey, Super Cuber. I liked Forager. That was pretty good. Got a lot of my assets from 2D game dev bundles on Humble Bundle. They don't appear as much as 3D game dev bundles. Yeah. Yeah, Xylotics had just recommended the newest Humble Bundle for the audio pack that they had. And I went and listened to some of it, and I was like, I'm not really sure this is worth 15 bucks. I don't even know where this is on the site. Wow, they have a lot more than I thought. Cyberpunk. This one, maybe? Yeah, it was this one. I went and listened to their Super Retro Bundle. It's okay. Yeah, it's not bad. And I tried to see, is anyone talking about this online? Because they disabled comments on some of their YouTube videos, and I couldn't really find any chatter about it either. There's no medium resolution. Yeah. I've mostly just been looking for pixel art. But I did buy all the Kenny assets as well, and they have a lot there. I've got some ideas. I want to make a mini golf game with that. I think it'll be cool. All right, anyway, this is adding this. I want to take a look at, yeah, this is done. Where is this? Here we go. 47 tile blob auto tile set arranged in a custom order plus 3 decorative interior variants. 0 base Alice coordinates. The upper left 4, 16 basic side connection combination. Diagonal or inner corner combinations. Tile map layer with this. Match corners inside. Using working 16 tile auto tiling quickly. Match sides. I don't know if I've done that. Yeah, I wonder if I can have it configure this. Hey, Strong. Way too much of those. 90% I ever used. Yeah, I want to be careful not to accumulate too many asset packs that I have no plan for yet. Like, I have a few asset packs I've purchased, but I have a plan for most of them. I do not have a plan for the Tiny Swords one yet. And I really, really like the Tiny Swords one. I just don't know what I'm going to do with it. But we're going to use it at some point. We have to. I paid $10 for this. Same thing with the Kenny assets. All right, is this done? I think I'm going to see if I can get this working afterward. All right, added player only, get every item cheat. Added item ownership and chest cards. Yeah, this is all sounds good. Let's go try it. Then we got to figure out this tile set stuff. Yeah, tower defense. I mean, that's what it seems most suitable for, but it's got to be something suitable for a broken game. And breaking a tower defense game sounds easier than it actually is. All right, so now we have wall jumping, regular jumping, shooting, and teleporting. And you can't open chests if you already got the cheats or use the cheat. So now what if I do this? If I open the chest, whoops. Okay, let's try that again. I open a chest, but I don't get the item. And then I cheat in the items. Now I can shoot and I can wall jump and teleport. And if I get these, nothing happens. Yeah, totally fine. Good RTS, build your kingdom, fending off enemy and destroying their own kingdom. Yeah, so I think it's pretty easy to picture a like straightforward game you could make with this. RTS, tower defense, maybe a tactics. That's probably about it. I mean, you could probably make other games, but like those are the ones that this slots into really nicely. The problem is for Stuck in a Broken Tutorial, we need it to be a broken game. And I just haven't come up with anything compelling there. Like, you know, tower defense, but the towers are attacking you or something, or you have to push everyone into the water. I don't know. Yeah, we just haven't done anything with that. Anyway, cool. I don't know why I launched this again. This is working. Let's go check it in. Grant all treasure items. This is fine. Also fine. Yep. Yep. Yeah. This is all totally okay. Okay, great. Add cheat to grant all treasure items. Do you want to place them in the most unoptimal positions? So, yeah, it's a little hard to convey the depth that I want exactly, because that is a way of subverting your expectations. You have tower defense is actually tower offense. The problem is that you could imagine a game existing like that. The brokenness is only in the first like 10 seconds that you realize, oh, I put a tower down and it's actually attacking me. And then you're like, okay, well, I guess I got to do this differently. Maybe we do change the game mechanics as a result of that. But actually, another way of looking at this is that you are the enemy and you're placing towers to destroy yourself, or maybe to not get destroyed, I guess. You're defending from the towers. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But I spent a lot of time thinking about this, so I'm probably not going to come up with an idea right now. This is on main, right? Yeah, it's on main. All right, so commit this. So we got our cheat. We can go unstash this other thing. I really, really don't like this being right here because I double click sometimes and accidentally click this and they made it way larger than the other two things combined. Okay, so can I have it? Can you apply this in Set up this tile set for me in Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. What are we doing here? Just any one of them? Or can I like reference another conversation? Is there a way to do that? Copy response branch in new chat. Maybe this. Fork in a new work tree or current workspace. I want it to be in a different project. Huh. Hey, Chappie. It bugs and you place the enemy path. Oh, enemy pathway, not the towers. Make them run in circles or long pathways until they die. Place the paths. Okay, that is a route I never thought of. I'll write down the general idea. I still need to spend some time thinking about it. This idea of placing paths or otherwise terraforming the world rather than controlling the towers or units could be interesting. I guess you would need rules for how units move such that placing paths is interesting. Yeah. All right, so I want to do this in, I don't know, backtracking room 1 or in the tile set that we have here. I'll just press enter and see what it says. Might as well. You do environmental things. Yeah, I get the idea. I think I've never been sold on anything so far, my own ideas or suggestions from chat for this particular set, because part of me thinks the ideal qualities of the resulting game are it's obviously broken, it's not super complex, it's fun. I think those 3 things. And like it can be played for 10 to 30 minutes. And yeah, communicating that something is broken already is kind of tough. Like, imagine if you were playing Super Mario Bros., like the original Super Mario Bros., and gravity was reversed. So all of a sudden you were walking on like the bottom of the platform. That would be broken for Super Mario Bros. You'd be like, wow, this is crazy. I've never seen this before. But it's very easy to envision a platform where that's just a mechanic that you have. And that's where we need to differentiate. Like, could this have just been envisioned as this game to begin with? So we need to do some kind of like setup where you break the game or you invert gravity and it's just broken for the rest of the time. Master Blaster? I don't remember that having inverted gravity. Did it? I really liked Master Blaster's music. Whoops, NES. Could you? I don't remember. Blaster Master, yeah. Blaster Master. That didn't even register with me that I had the wrong name. Yeah. I played this game a lot. I think it's pretty fun for the first few worlds, and then it feels like it's just a gigantic game. And not necessarily in a good way. I think Crystalis feels the same way. It's fun at first, and you're like, man, every place is just a maze. Like, there's fun gameplay, but getting through the mazes are not fun. I'd almost rather it be just linear. In fact, Blaster, Master, NES maps. They have maps of the different areas. Yeah. Yeah, like this. I don't know. This is too much in my opinion. I guess it's not really a maze. It is kind of linear. Not exactly. Yeah, like take a look at this. This is what I find kind of crazy. Okay, so let's say you're here, and I don't remember where you come from exactly, but you go into this path. Now you're in this room. You can go up, and then you have a gigantic room you can go through with other paths, or you can go right, and then you have other gigantic rooms you can go through. Maybe you spawn here. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I don't like that kind of game design, I guess. Specs existing Godot version and tileset conventions. Add this reusable configured terrain resource. Mapping 47 masks into that resource so existing room tile IDs and collision data remain intact. Sure, this is probably burning through all my remaining quota. 18%. It resets tomorrow. Also, I might as well fill out the journal now. And then close the million tabs I have open. Let's move this way up here and then just close all tabs below. All right, what did we do today? Fleshed out the Metroidvania game. What did I do, though? Treasure chests. And items. I mean, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know. This feels paltry. Any bugs are intended features, not mistakes. So there will probably be bugs, but a lot of them are going to just be intentional things, and we need to make it clear to the player that they were intentional. And I like how Mario Odyssey did some of this. They made some like seemingly impossible to reach areas. And then if you reach them, you realize, wait, there are coins here. That means the developers expected me to get here. And it's like, oh, we know what you're doing over there. We know you know what we know. So yeah, we got to do something like that. Where it's like, oh, you seemingly break the game, and then we're like, haha, we knew you'd do this. Allowed to edit the content of this. Yeah, of course. I told it to. Okay, so we should come up with what the system is. Because this is the game design problem. And this is where I find that almost all of my time seems to be going that holds me up elsewhere. So why would you go into the, into the depths of this thing? Let's look up a Super Metroid map. Is there... I want to look at criteria. Okay, so in Super Metroid, you start in your ship. You can only walk to the left. You cannot... Apparently can't zoom in. You can't go down here because you don't have any way to bomb things yet. You can't go down here because you don't have the morph ball. So you are forced to just go downward in the world. You can't go through this door. You can't go through this door. You can go through the one on the left, but there's a dead end there pretty much. You fall down this massive elevator shaft pretty much. You get down to this elevator and you eventually get the morph ball. If you were to go down here, for example, you'd get missiles. This is the kind of thing we need to figure out. Like, we're going to have a map that's something like this. And... oh, you know what we might want to do is divide things evenly into screen. That'd probably be smart. Yeah. I'll write that down. Yeah, so before moving on, we should also figure out how we want the mini map to work. It may be best to divide all rooms up into like screens so that they easily fit into blocks for the minimap. How do you determine a bug from a feature? Yeah, it is a good question. And I think it's a fine line. Because in both cases, if you think about it, like a bug is just some unexpected effect from software. Like you click a button and it doesn't actually work. So you'd call that a bug in regular software. Like if Google Docs, if I clicked file and it did nothing, you'd be like, that's a bug. But in the game, it isn't necessarily a bug. It might just be like an intentional funny thing that we've done. Not that in particular. It's probably not very funny. You need to have some like silly effect. Like those guns that you shoot that just shoot a little flag that says bang. Like that's like, oh yeah, it doesn't work, but it's clear that it wasn't supposed to work. Anyway, an ad's about to start, so I'm gonna go take my break. Yeah, that's strange. All right, anyway, is it jump time? It's jump time. Okay, hello, close the game. All right, so did this thing finish? It did something. I don't know what it did. If we go into, yeah, we have dungeon ground here. Does this actually work? Yeah, honestly, it's not too bad. Okay, this will make it a lot easier then. At least set up basic platforms and everything. Yeah, because prior to this, it kind of looked like trash. So now we can just do something like that and have a perfect ground. Okay, well, cool. Let's go into the tile set. Do they do this for everything? Paint, terrain. Terrain set 0, dungeon ground. It just did it for dungeon ground, yeah. That's fine. And it filled in like everything. And the color is impossible to see. So let's change that to like bright pink. There we go. Oh boy. So yeah, the problem, for those wondering what we're looking at right now, these are a 3x3 bit mask essentially of where this tile should connect to other tiles. So this shape being at the bottom right means that it would connect to a tile that connects like this at the top. So these connections match and these connections match. So cool. If you draw a little like L shape like that, then you'll see probably those shapes. Now, that doesn't necessarily happen because anytime you see this shape, it's going to find any such square of that shape. I can't tell if there are more. So we might see some randomization take place in here. So if I draw the same square each time, we might see a little bit of variety. We are not, but maybe if I extend it a little bit. Still no. Okay, yeah, so it's once we get some blank space in the middle. So if I draw two large rectangles like this and this. So I drew the same thing, but it put different innards. And yeah, that is happening from these bitmask connections here. So do we ever, I guess we do see the inside pieces there. Interesting. Okay, well then this is much more usable. Yeah. So yeah, a pretty key component. We got to figure this out too. We need to figure out if we have platforms that you can jump from underneath, or maybe that's how every platform works. Can you drop down through a platform with down plus jump? We don't have thin platforms. I mean, just looking at this picture, would you expect to be able to jump from underneath here? Probably not, because there's like an extra wall beneath it. Yeah, I don't think I would expect to be able to jump through any of those. But then I see something like this and I think, okay, maybe it would be possible. Because otherwise, how would you get here? We don't need to allow it. It's not important. Yeah, I don't think it's important. I don't think we need to sweat this. Yeah. Conclusion, this shouldn't matter. Plus, we will allow for wall sliding and jumping. So you should pretty much always be able to go upward in the world. All right, that's great. We have one answer. Oh, man. I should probably check in what I've done, too. Now we got to answer this question. How do we reward the player for hitting dead ends? Or just how do we reward them for exploring? Backtracking, platformer. Rewarding the player with minor items. In Metroidvania games, there are almost always upgrades. There are almost always two categories of upgrades. Major upgrades, new weapons, movement abilities, etc., and minor upgrades. Stats, missiles. Yeah. Without minor upgrades, exploring isn't fun. Yeah. Be able to fully disconnect and not think or stress about your project. It depends. I still think about it from time to time. And I'm trying to think of like how much do I stress about it. I think I can disconnect well enough, at least. Let me put it that way. I'm not 100% disconnected, but it's maybe 70% disconnected. It was not that way when I was working on Botland. Botland was like always on my mind. Like I remember taking a vacation and the vacation was ruined because I just couldn't stop thinking about like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I'm not totally sure what's changed. I think the biggest thing that's changed is I value product market fit now. So back in the Botland days, it was like I was just making a game to make a game, which is how I'd always pursued games. And then it was like, yeah, I was going to kind of sort of be a business, but it failed at that. Then when I made Skeleseller, I'm like, okay, got to learn from this, got to validate. Like, is this idea fun? Do people want this? And yeah, playtesters seemed like they were having a pretty good time. And that's the same thing that's happening here too. And actually, this is something I've been commenting on to my wife and that you've probably seen because you're in the stream and you read chat. But I get a raid every once in a while and people come in and I show off the game and they're like, oh, that's a really cool idea. And that's also validating because that's the very first way that a lot of people see games is through content creators, is on a Steam page where they're not actually playing. It's not in their hands. They don't know a friend who's played the game. They're just seeing the game. And if that demo of the game just visually looks interesting, then they might want to try it. And if the demo that they interactively play is interesting, then yeah, they might want to buy it. What do you mean by product market fit? Basically that you're making something that people want to buy. So like, is there a market for it? Is the product to your potential customers' requirements or specifications? So as an example, imagine if you made like Overwatch, but every gun does, I don't know, 1 damage or something like that, and you have 10,000 life. It's like, this is the game probably nobody wants to play. Now, granted, this is just a balance problem. You just tweak some numbers and now all of a sudden it could be a game that people want to play. But it'd be like, this would be super boring. No one would ever, there's no like skill expression. It's just like, how long can you just stand there spraying bullets out and hope that somebody eventually hits 0 life? With Botland, it was a very like nerdy game. You made these bots and you customized them with these scripts that you had. And people looked at this and their first reaction was always like, wow, this is a really good way to learn coding. Which in hindsight meant like, oh, we probably should have pivoted this for education or from the very beginning made it about education. But no, it was just supposed to be a game and this was just the interface for it. But people looked at this and they immediately thought learning. And yeah, I think that's a bit of a problem when you see a game like this. So it's like, well, all of a sudden now the people's gut reaction doesn't match what I was aiming for. So then I put it in front of people and it's like, well, I could kind of see this being fun. And it's like, well, is it fun now? No, not really. Without minor upgrades, exploring isn't fun. Some general ideas, maybe like a missile equivalent, like super arrows, life upgrades or regeneration upgrades. These would be more interesting if you were taking tons of damage, which I probably don't want in the game. What else did I say? Some kind of like sprinting stamina for sprinting or moving faster. Maybe checkpoints or warp points. Watch a video today about game ideas people need to jump on. I think you can take almost any game idea and make it good and then find an audience for it. And I think it's just a question of like, how much work does it take to get to that audience or to get the product to be good? So like, if you just randomly spew some dictionary words like fish, motorcycle, and balloon, it's like, that might spark some idea where you're playing as fish and you have to, I don't know, pop balloons to earn money or buy a motorcycle. And then it turns into a racing game or something. I have no idea why. But like, you could probably take that idea and now find a way to polish it, make it funny, do whatever you need to do to make it a product people want. So the idea that there's a game concept that people need to jump on is maybe true. Maybe they're the sort of low-hanging fruit there, but yeah, I think you could probably do this with almost anything. Maybe should devs, they might find it fun. Yeah, maybe. I guess it's a moot point now. I want a game that's broken. See, everyone does want that, but they don't know that they want that. I need to show them that they want it. Do we have any other graphics that we could use here that I haven't thought of? I don't think there's much. It all comes down to like, what are you doing in this game? Is combat important? Is combat important in this game? If so, offense, life, regen, etc. could be interesting. If not, none of that really matters. This could also just be a Microvania. Maybe we show the essence of a Metroidvania, but in a very compact area. Like each room has a chest. Then you leave that room. So that idea could work. It does cut down on game time. Also, I don't know why you would need the bow and arrow. I guess there's an enemy blocking your way, and you have to shoot the enemy. There's a game called Microvania. Huh. Explore a tiny world, find upgrades, discover hidden paths, and battle bosses. This has 75% positive reviews. Why? It's fine. I wish you could teleport to any teleporter rather than the single assigned location. The map was confusing to read at times. Way too expensive for what you get. What was it? $10? Man. It's not the worst Metroidvania I've ever played. Okay. Well, anyway, yeah. So this idea, I guess if we were to pursue this, it'd be like the first room would be a descent with the boots at the bottom, and then you work your way back up to get to a door. Then the second room would be enemies are blocking your way or shooting at you or something. So you need to get the arrows so that you can defeat them and move on. Then the third room is something like there's a door up above, but your jump doesn't get you there. So you have to get the wall jump ability. Then in the fourth room, there are pillars like blocking your path. So you get the teleport ability. And teleport through the pillars. This is interesting. I think if we did this with enough rooms, it could work. So then the fifth room could be some like combination of what you've gotten so far. Maybe there are a few rooms of that. Combination of what you've gotten so far. We should probably do those combo rooms throughout though. Like the first one, you just jumping back through is pretty straightforward. Having to shoot enemies, it's like, okay, now we start putting enemies in rooms. Yeah, so second room, you need jumping as well. You need jumping and attacking as well. Fourth room, you would get wall jump. I don't think. Maybe it's just another way like wall jumping could be helpful here, but not required. And then, yeah, fifth room is like a room where there are, or maybe it's like a teleport puzzle. You have to find the path to the exit and use wall jumps. Yeah, that could be interesting. And then eventually, I don't know, the final room, like, whoops. Did I close that? What did I just do? Yeah, I closed it. Final room is a room with ledges with a door very high up, but with ledges blocking you from wall jumping up there. You get a chest with the high jump boots. You blast through the ceiling. How do you evaluate what market demand is in game design? I kind of understand taking feedback from previous game concepts, but what about knowing a concept's value, a new concept value, using this game as an example if you can? So this goes back to my other philosophy about, I think you can take any game and make it successful. So if you're making Mario Kart and you don't know that you're making Mario Kart, you're just like, you know what would be cool? A racing game with weapons and stuff. You can go in a couple different directions. You can go in the Twisted Metal style. This was like very kind of serious looking, pretty gritty. You had like missiles and explosions. Or you could go with the Mario Kart style. And this is obviously very cartoony, and you've got like banana peels and turtle shells. You kind of from there can figure out, okay, well, I know the idea is solid, or people have played it when it doesn't have graphics yet. You're just shooting like rectangles at each other and they found it fun. So now, like, which way do we want to theme it? That you probably want to do some market research on. But the idea itself, that core idea, I think you can still find a way to make almost anything work. And then I think it comes down to, okay, like, what's the saturation of that genre? What are other entries charging? Like, how many sales are they getting? This is the kind of stuff you can pretty much figure out by just going to Steam DB, or there's probably better sites for doing this. But if you were like, okay, let's go look at Terraria, for example. Like, we start with Terraria, we click this, we look at maybe charts, and we're like, wow, there's 26,000 people playing it right now. And if you look at the last like year or 3 years or something, it's like this never dipped below the tens of thousands of players. And this is just on Steam. Like, this is on many different platforms, it's on mobile. So like, okay, Terraria is still popular nowadays. What are other games that are like it? All right, we go look at like Starbound or something, and we see, is this still getting people playing? And like, wow, 839 players right now. Like, yeah, it seems like it's still popular. So you might look at this and say, well, there's clearly still demand for some of these games. And then you go seek out other games that are like it. In fact, if you just go to the Steam page for Terraria, Steam is inclined to show you at the bottom of the page. Where is it here? So like Palworld, Once Human. I don't think these games are all super close to Terraria, but like you might find some other ones in here. Some of them match the survival aspect, some of them match the art aspect. And yeah, you might find out from all of that you're like, well, yep, this is still successful. And then you start breaking it down into game mechanics. Like, what's making this successful? Well, the ones that are most successful have multiplayer. Okay, so this game would have to have multiplayer. And they have survival, but maybe it's deep, maybe it's not too deep, maybe whatever. And then how do you differentiate from them? Hey, Goose. And I think there is some science to this, but at the end of the day, like, you're the one making this game. So are you going to be happy making this game? Would I be happy making like Minecraft clone number 600? Probably not. I would probably want to put a twist on it somehow. And yeah, what might that look like? And that's where your own creativity would come in. Why is this plus button? There's a plus button on YouTube that's blue. Why is this blue? What is this? Is it saying there's another option? Because I don't ever remember seeing this button in the first place. That's strange. What if I click this? Start a poll. Ask a question. Are you happy? Start. It's still blue. Also, is yes the only answer? Oh my god. It said yes or no, right? All right, whatever. I don't care. No one's even answered it. I don't know how many people I have watching on YouTube anyway. Hey, Laxon. Oh, yep, 100%. 100% of people are happy. Oh, there's the no answer. I see. You can expand it. 2 votes for yes. I'm happy. All right, good. Good. Okay, I like this idea quite a lot. I think this is cool. And I think this kind of tightens the gameplay. The only issues I have with this are, one, I don't want the game to be too short in this particular mode. 2 is that it's possibly a little bit too straightforward. Maybe we have some branching paths. And 3 is it's somewhat similar to Dungeon Racer. We threw 4 Zelda-esque rooms at the player before scrapping that idea entirely. In fact, maybe in that Dungeon Racer game, we should put like 1 more room. I don't have any great ideas. And I remember trying to draft them up a while ago. But yeah, so How many do we have here? 6 so far. We could put some optional rooms. Maybe we have other power-ups. Like two-way shot or regeneration that aren't required. If they're not required though, then we won't design rooms that reward them. All right, I'm going to end this poll. Thank you all for voting in the YouTube poll, asking if you're happy. You are all happy. Complete 3 votes, and I still don't understand why this is blue. I think it's probably for this. Yeah, it's probably for this because this gives YouTube money. What happens if I click that button? Does the blue go away? No, it doesn't. All right, I don't care. Yeah, so don't want it to be too short. This we mitigate by designing more rooms. Issue is we just don't have that much. I guess air shooting could be one of the things that you get. Yeah, I guess we could write it down. 6th room. There are like mushroom enemies or something guarding your way onto a platform. They won't move. You have to shoot them from the air using an item you get in that room. Now, one of the benefits of this, so I guess we can say the pros and cons. Pros and cons. Whoop. Pros, this sets up a pattern of you will use the item you get in this room such that you start guessing what you'll get. This works very well for dashing players' expectations around the high jump boots. First we pay for features, now we're paying to get rid of them. Usually it's obvious when there's a new button like that why they want you to click it. Just strange. Did I have any other ideas that we could do? I don't think I did, but let's see. Maybe I wrote some down. Space shooter. No, not space shooter. What am I talking about? Here. Wall siding, attack, 1 to 2 other power-ups, 3-way shot, homing shot. I guess we can give you the 3-way shot. Maybe it's just not. Maybe it's not optional. Maybe it's required. It's not very interesting. Yeah, it's not very interesting. I don't have anything else, do I? Teleport, slide, do something with lighting, bombs. Bombs would make sense once you get into space. Where are the bombs? Here. Yeah. Yeah, we should probably do something with bombs. We don't have a throwing animation though, so you just like set it where you are. Which maybe you're able to destroy some like broken rocks or something. We don't even have those tiles, do we? Maybe there's a prop you could destroy. I had another idea with a flame-proof armor thing. That could potentially work. Where'd that design go? Okay, this idea is very, very interesting. Other ideas for power-ups or room ideas. Maybe like immunity to fire. Maybe there's even a room at the beginning with fire blocking an exit. that you could backtrack to. It could be something that requires actual skill to get to, but you didn't realize that you would even be able to get there. This is a cool idea too. I like that a lot. And then this could lead to a joke or a story thing or another power up. I don't really care about that. Just something's there. So yeah, immunity to fire, which we use for the fire traps. There are no other. Oh, and bombs I talked about. Yeah, bombs. Maybe this lets you blow up. Blow up something. We don't have any. I don't know what you'd blow up. Maybe one of these tiles says we just need one of these to have something that looks like you can blow it up. That you'd want to blow up. I don't know. Maybe the bridge here? You blow up a bridge and you can fall downward? Do we even use different biomes for this stuff? How many hits in the document for maybe? I mean, this is how I design things. Only 664. Hey, City. Yeah, but that's nothing compared to the. I got 6,030 of those. That's not really fair because it's the in space, and then I have 3,600. This is my stream of consciousness. Okay, so the bridge in the, what is this? Floresta? I guess in the forest. To go, I don't know, somewhere else. Back to the dungeon. Do we even need different biomes if we do this? We need you to see different biomes. We need you to meet Sidekick, by the way. Oh my god, I forgot about that. Yeah, Sidekick room. At some point, you need to meet Sidekick. Oh, what if they're behind that fireplace? Not literal fireplace. Backtrack to a previous patch. You need to make it clear. Like, that's the kind of thing we need to spell out, I think. Like, hey, sorry, this was unintended code. You weren't supposed to be here. And have a conversation with them. This should probably be in like room 5 or 6. This should probably be in one of the other rooms. Maybe room 5 or room 6. There's another maybe. You can't get me to stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Gonna maybe this entire place. All right, yeah. I did not see anything for bombs that makes sense here. What is in animations? Oh, water and stuff. And I still gotta answer the biome question. Cons, I don't know how exactly we would use biomes. You gotta end in the dungeon. Sidekick started in the dungeon. See, I gotta do a bunch of world planning. I don't like doing this, but I think it's necessary. All right, descend with the boots at the bottom. You work your way back up to a door. Enemies are blocking your way or shooting at you. You need to get arrows so you can defeat them and move on. Maybe you die in one. I don't know. There's a door up above, but your jump doesn't get you there. You have to get the wall jump ability. Pillars blocking your path. You get the teleport ability and teleport through the pillars. Through the walls to the exit. And also use wall jumps to reposition yourself vertically. Mushrooms guarding your way. They will move. You have to shoot them from the air using an item you get in that room. This doesn't... They share the same pixel ratio? Yeah. This doesn't feel like a Metroidvania. I feel like one of the defining characteristics of a Metroidvania is backtracking. So maybe instead of doing this as a sequential series of rooms, it is... There are multiple treasure chests in the same room. I think that would work a lot better. Defining characteristic of a Metroidvania is the backtracking, even in the code all over the place. So I should probably not make this a sequential set of rooms. Raise changes biome tiles. Well, we need to mimic what happens with Sidekick, which is that they're moving between these different biomes. You blow up an igloo. I don't really think there's anything obvious that you'd want to destroy with bombs. I guess it could just be like broken tiles. Yeah, we put some cracks in some of the tiles and you blow them up. Cracks in some tiles, which we would have to add, and you blow them up. This would probably let you get lower in the world. You could get lower into the world. I like that idea. Yeah, I like both of these ideas. I think they're fine. I think the immunity to fire could come into play in the space shooter bit. Where are those graphics? Subgames, space shooter, this bundle. Is there anything with fire, explicitly fire? They're all like little plasma bullets and stuff. These explosions maybe count, but yeah, I only see fire in the thrusters there, but explosion animation, various projectile designs. Yeah, they don't tell you what the projectile designs are. I'm very likely getting this asset pack. I just would love to know what's in it. Yeah, that's too bad. I don't see any fire, just the explosions. It might not be obvious to you that you're immune to fire from the other game that you were in. Like the electrical explosions would hurt you, but the fire ones wouldn't. What if it's an optional upgrade? No, you wouldn't know. Yeah. Yeah, I think... Well, it's really only the bullets that hurt you. What if it was like immunity to metal? Okay, now there's an idea. Because we have... Where are the traps? We have a bunch of like metal traps here, right? Like a bear trap, this swinging saw, a circular saw. We have all these graphics. If you had immunity to metal, which, like I said, doesn't really make sense, and then this saw just doesn't hurt you, maybe that explains why in this space shooter you're not hurt by enemy ships. Okay, I really, really like this idea. This would be better themed as an immunity to metal so that the spaceships don't hurt you. Bomb movement. Yeah, we already have a bunch of movement stuff though. Like we have jumps and wall jumping. Yeah. Okay, so how do we make that make sense? We could literally make the item say metal immunity bracelet or something like that. And the description could be something semi funny, like metal doesn't hurt you, no matter how sharp it is or how fast you're moving. No one knows why. Or how fast you're moving, how fast it's moving. Players has a really good diet. How would you theme this? There's no immunity to metal, right? Like a saw tries hitting you and it's metal and doesn't hurt, but then wood hits you and it does hurt. Maybe like really thick skin. It still doesn't make sense, but it is pretty funny. Also, won't like half the enemies then be you'd be immune to them? Are you just getting like really powerful armor? Maybe that's what's happening. Yeah. Maybe it's just like something here. I don't know, maybe it's a full set of armor. Maybe I guess like thick skin or some kind of armor item would probably be better theming. Yeah. So that's the other thing I gotta figure out is what enemies do we have and what do they look like they're attacking you with? Where is the here and here? Okay, so bats are just bats. I guess you'd still get hurt by them. The knight isn't an enemy. The slime, yep, you could probably get hurt by them. Goblin has a wooden club. Very important. The skeleton has what looks like a sword. Yeah, and that's probably metal, so maybe they can't hurt you anymore. And we got a scorpion, a ghost. Are there any other enemies I haven't seen? I think that's it. Yeah, this could work. Metal bounces off. No, just be metal doesn't hurt you. I hate criminal. Okay, I think this is a good idea. I think it's what we have to do. Also, it's super goofy, which I like. Yeah, so now how do we theme it? I think armor makes the most sense. Impervious armor. Mostly impervious armor. This armor prevents metals from hurting you. Maybe this is too on the nose because then when you get to the space shooter, you might be like, wait a second, I have this armor that stops metal from hurting me. These spaceships are made of metal, so they won't hurt me anymore. And that's true, they won't. They're actually power-ups for you. Because they're metallic. I'm an expert lore writer. Could sneak in Skeletor characters? Yeah, I want to do at least one of that. Matt gave me the idea to just put the Skeletor character into the loot boxes game. And for whatever reason, I just never thought of that beforehand. This armor prevents metals from hurting you. You stand no chance against wood or still stand no chance against wood or what other things did the enemies have? Slime? Bats? Claws? Wood, claws, and slime? Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Must include the Adam character. Yeah, maybe I should. Maybe I'm just off there in the side of the world or something. Adam needs to be in the game somewhere. It can be assumed that I'm an agent. I could even talk to you. I could talk to you as though I'm me. Are you liking my game? You know that someone had to make the architect. Oh my God, you know what would be perfect? This could be if you have a save file that's already completed the game. I would show up in some super secret high skill area. Yeah, it's very cool. Hey Magnus. Okay, we got some good ideas, but this stuff, I think there's some really good ideas here. The bombs I don't know about. Bring the architect baby photos. That's it's really funny. I'll write it down. Where is oh, here it is. Yeah, making the jump. If you can make it through the very first jump in the game that you're supposed to make, any baby can do it. All right, so bombs I'm not so sure about. I don't think bombs are super interesting. We have the graphics for them though. Yeah, we have the graphics for them. And it is another place we could just add some arbitrary obstacle. Okay, so pros, cons, pros. The mimic could reference that you did like $400,000 worth of damage to the dungeon by jumping through it and like $600 of damage by bombing some blocks. They were cracked to begin with. That's a pretty funny joke, but there's another pro. I guess it's like we have the graphics. It's not really a great pro. Cons, it's not super interesting. It's also not interesting. Yeah, we should probably just do it. Yeah. Well, oh, we don't have an animation for throwing a bomb. So you would just place it where you are. We could mock this up really quickly. Traps, bomb, yeah, okay. Let's go find the backtracking platformer. And there's the character. In fact, let's just go pull them out of this. Player, copy, plus, paste. Now let's just copy the whole thing. I just want this to accidentally save. Why am I not able to do this? Copy, paste. There. Okay, now editable children. And there's the player. Let's put them over here. And then let's go add in an animated sprite. And now we need this in the game somewhere just for now. So let's put it there and hope we never forget that I put this here. Did that even work? Yes, it did. All right, new sprite frame. All right, now we just got to find that. Sprite world sidekick. This is inside the dungeon one. Bomb. Here we go. All right, what size is it? 32 by 32? New. It's taller than 32 by 32? 48? 48 by 48? Ah, perfect. Click. Okay, so now we have a bomb somewhere. Where is that? Right there. And we set the texture to nearest. And then hit play and just have a loop for now. I guess you could, you don't have a throwing animation though. What if you had bomb arrows? They're basically missiles. Oh, they're basically missiles, right? Yeah. This could be how you get missiles for the space shooter. The problem is that the bombs blow up on their own. I guess you don't have to have that happen though. You could just have a bomb like loop between the first few frames here of having a fuse, but it never actually goes off until it hits an enemy. Oh, it does like the fuse is actually going into the bomb, which is how bombs work. So it should look like that. But we need it to just be animated with fire at the end of it. Bullet point quest list. How's it look without the black and white circle? Well, we probably just increase the frame rate and it'll look better. Yeah. Here, the black and white circle doesn't last for so long, so it looks a lot better already. Okay. Okay. Bomb arrows I had not thought of. Bomb arrows are not something that is unique to me. In fact, I think Link's Awakening was the first game I've seen with bomb arrows. And even then it wasn't like an obvious thing you could do. Yeah, Link's Awakening. Then Breath of the Wild. I didn't really play all of Twilight Princess. I didn't like Twilight Princess. Yeah. Yeah, so the nice thing about bomb arrows is it would give you an animation. It basically solves all our problems. I'll put a star next to this actually. Okay, this solves practically every problem with that bombs have. We have a shooting animation. It's more interesting than bombs. Also, you could use this in the space shooter to shoot bombs at everybody. Maybe you can only use these once every so often. Maybe you can only use these once every so often. Or maybe it's just every third arrow. Yeah, I think that every third arrow is fine. And you use these to blow up a cracked wall. And the other thing we could do is we could use this to hide wall chicken somewhere as a gag. Okay, I think we have some good answers to this stuff. We just need to design the world, which is still not easy. Chicken's always making games more fun. What is wall chicken? It's a Castlevania thing. It's a Castlevania thing where inside a wall there would be meat for some reason. Like, why is it cooked meat? Why would you want to eat cooked meat that you found in a wall? And it just became a trope in Castlevania games. Like, oh yeah, you could destroy walls, and yeah, sometimes they're gonna have the food item behind it, and it's not gonna make any sense, and it probably wouldn't be appetizing, but you're still gonna eat it. I never actually wrote down when this went down to 17%, but okay. So we got to sum up everything in that list or compile it somewhere. Is there anything else I have not answered yet? Oh yeah, what the world looks like and whether we need more rooms. So I think the way we need to proceed here. Yeah, so platforms you can jump through. I got to write this down in the game design. We have a lot of little things we got to do still. Let's go start. Do I have a world section here? Yeah, world. Here we go. You shouldn't be able to jump from the bottom of platforms. Rationale. We don't have artwork that makes thin platforms easy. people would probably want extra controls to drop down through the platforms. But we already have enough controls. Jump, shoot, teleport, and maybe... Well, jump, shoot, and teleport at least. And there was one other reason. What was the other reason? Oh yeah, we have enough movement mechanics that I don't think it'll be a problem. Hey, Colt. Feel like the every third arrow thing could get annoying from a control perspective. Feels more like a resource limit would fit better. I think it generally would, but then it needs to recharge anyway, because we can't let you ever soft lock, and there wouldn't be like enemies or drops for you to be able to get more of these things. So this is the way we solved it in the Dungeon Racer game. Like, I'll show this thing. So we go into here. And then we go into room 4. Okay, so in here, you go up to this treasure chest, and you unlock bombs. And now you might just, like, place all of them, and that's it. You don't have any more bombs, right? So we made them recharge. So now I got one more. And, yeah, now I get another one. Because otherwise you might destroy everything in here, and then, like, what are you going to do? How are you going to bomb this wall? So yeah, the same thing would have to happen in the game we're designing now. Yeah. Zelda was like that. Zelda was like that. And actually, Zelda did something I think even worse than that. Zelda, well, it's not just one game, but A Link to the Past, which I really, really like, had the ice dungeon. The boss of this was encased in, yeah, Cold Stare, was encased in ice. And if you didn't have enough magic entering this room, you just literally couldn't do anything. Did they mention that on this page? Wait, right? Isn't that true? I think it was true. Anyway, you could get like magic medicine, but you might not have been carrying that around. And you might fall into this place and be like, well, I'm forced to lose. I think that was bad. So regular bombs in a Zelda game, I think are a little bit better, but even then it kind of sucks to run out of something and be like, well, time to leave the dungeon and go buy bombs, then come back to the dungeon and bomb a bunch of walls that aren't actually bombable. So yeah, I don't want you getting stuck. I mean, preventing soft locking is something basically every game is trying to do. You shouldn't soft lock yourself, but also it shouldn't be tedious to like, okay, I'll go back a couple of rooms, I'll get bombs, I'll try them out over here. All right, didn't I say there was one last thing I needed to do? What was that? I'm getting a little bit detached from this work. Oh yeah, I wanted to sum that up. I think I did. Yes, I did. Okay, so we can delete this now. They did have enemies drop bombs. Yeah, although I think you could run out of enemies and you needed to like leave wherever you were and come back. I don't fully recall, but I think that was the case. At least in dungeons, I'm pretty sure that was true. And dungeons are where you needed the bombs the most. I think the biggest problem with Zelda 1 is actually bombs and the torch. Biggest problems. The torch wasn't necessarily finite. You got an upgrade that let you use it everywhere, but like there was usually no indication where you should use it. And it really sucks having to test something everywhere. It's the same thing I say about Super Metroid in the X-ray scope. It's a cool idea. It lets you look through walls and see if there are secrets there. But then, knowing that there are secrets in most places, you want to use it everywhere. So it was just tedious to have to keep using this all the time. The lantern? Oh, I was talking about the original Zelda. They had two different torches. Or, well, was it called a lantern? No, it was a candle, excuse me. Zelda NES candle. Yeah, they had two different candles. The red and the blue one. And yeah, the red one lets you use the... Where is this written down? Let you use the fire as many times as you want. I don't know. I'm not reading through this wiki. Yeah. Yeah, then A Link to the Past had the lantern. And the lantern, I don't have a problem with that. There were obvious torches that you could light with it. So you were never like, should I use it here? Should I use it here? Whereas the candle in the first game, yeah, you wouldn't have known where to use it. And I guess it feels kind of cool when you accidentally burn a tree and then it plays a little Zelda jingle and you get some rupees or something, but yeah, I don't think it's great. All right, so we've answered this question. Yeah, so we still have some world planning left. Need to plan the world based on what I wrote here. So we have a lot of work left to do with this. Man. I said that this game would probably take like a month. We have spent 3 days on it. It might be more than a month. Yeah. Well, we'll find some way through it. It's a game I speedrun that has really stupid arrow spawn mechanics. Start with one arrow, there are arrow spawns, but they only spawn at very certain checkpoints. You have to cross checkpoint with 0 arrows. Normal gameplay, you'll likely only ever have one at a time. What game is this? Because, yeah, speedrunning follows like totally different rules for sure. And I feel like that's almost part of the appeal of speedrunning is it warps a game and how you play it. So for this, I'm not like heavily considering speedrunners. I don't want to preclude speedrunners from speedrunning the game, but I don't know what I would need to do to make it fun or interesting. But yeah, I definitely am focused on how normal players are going to play through the game. And yeah, I don't want them getting stuck. I don't want them feeling like there's a massive skill expression somewhere that they don't have. All right, so I wrote a lot of this stuff down over here and I got to move it to the other place. Oh yeah, that's right. Need to plan the world. And then I want to use the basic terrain tool to draw out the entire world as though it's one room. And I still haven't answered biomes. I still haven't figured out biomes and how you go between them. If I don't figure this out, then maybe Sidekick only ever goes around in the dungeon. It may just look like the dungeon is changing around them, which is maybe desirable. I don't know. They'll find ways. Well, speedrunners always find a way. Well, it's not even, it's kind of just a fact, right? Like there's always going to be a fastest way to beat a game. And in finding that, you first need to like try playing quickly pretty much. But I think the best speedrun games, at least in my mind, are ones where there's a lot of skill expression, not a lot of randomness that could happen, and the skill expression looks cool. So like, I think Super Metroid is a really cool speed game. I think Super Mario 64 is a really cool speed game because like just the platforming themselves and the kind of techniques you do look nice, so spectators enjoy it. Super Metroid unfortunately does have some RNG in it. Mario might, but I don't actually know how much it is. I Am Alive. I have not heard of that. Enemies are humans. I see. And humans are weak to arrows. One arrow, which is all you have. I like the ones where you don't just glitch and skip 80% of the game. Yeah, but that's usually categories will separate that off. So usually there's like a, hey, play this game kind of sort of normally, but just with a lot of speed. And other ones are just like beat it in 4 minutes by, yeah, injecting something into RAM. Arbitrarily execute code with a Koopa shell. So biomes, what do we do about biomes? The first question is, do we have them? And then if yes, how do you switch between them? You need to end up in the dungeon at some point since it's the only biome with ceilings. Oh, you know what'd be kind of cool? Maybe you meet the mimic on your way in. It's a chest that you can't open, but you don't know why. I guess that's not that interesting. Wait a second. Does the mimic have an idle animation that makes them look more like a chest than anything else? Maybe they're a silver chest. Yeah, this. Oh, man. This is probably perfect. It's a treasure chest that has an eye that opens up and looks around and then closes. And it just looks like a, well, it doesn't really look like a regular treasure chest again. Oh, no, it does on this frame. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that could be interesting. And we go to it, maybe its eye just opens up. Oh, you can recover them. Okay, that's better. So what happens if you run out of all of your ammo in that game? Do you just lose, or is there like hand-to-hand combat or something? I don't play horror games. Already sounds scary. Yeah, I love this idea. It's just you can't open it, you don't know why. Getting close causes it to run. What is it? It's a looking animation. And then it's got some opening animations and stuff. Where's the whole sprite sheet? Here it is. So every single one of these oh, no. I was gonna say every single one of these has something scary about it, except for the looking animation. But actually, there are two regular opening animations, right? Open front, open side. Oh, open side exists. The other treasure chest didn't have that. Items, traps, tile set, chest. Yeah, it just had the front opening one. Well, well, well. Maybe that's how you can get the boots. It spits them out to the side. Maybe we don't have ramps. Can't use ramps. You can't gain height unless you can jump. Yeah, you need a ramp. Well, or a portal or something. Hold on. I'm a little turned around here. So we go back to this. We have the whole sheet. I guess I have it open over here. Where'd it go? This doesn't look like a mimic, right? It just looks like a treasure chest. It just happens to be facing to the side. And that way we don't have to rotate it. Okay, I gotta write this down. I see, Colt. Gotcha. Yeah. How do you swap between keys? Being arrows in your keyboard and letters? Not sure if you have that somewhere. It's just layer switching. So the way that I try to make this easy is like, at least on a regular QWERTY keyboard, there is no exclamation mark key. The way you get to exclamation mark is you type shift and 1, at least on an American keyboard. So shift is like your layer key, and it was normally 1 by default, and now it types an exclamation mark. So it's like 1 would type an exclamation mark, and 2 would type an @ symbol. I have the same general thing. It's just I have layers that switch me into symbol mode or arrow mode. So here are my layers: base, symbols, numbers, function keys, navigation, some other ones I don't use, and the media. So like if I hold this key and press this, it is volume down. If I just press that key without holding anything else, it's just H. If I hold this and press this key, it's backspace. If I hold this and press this key, it's 1. So it's either H, it is backspace, it's 1, or it is volume down. Yeah, so it's any of those keys depending on what other key I'm holding. Hey, pressing arrows when not in a word editor. Oh yeah, I think it's super helpful. If that's the only thing you do, I think that alone is amazing. So if you're on a QWERTY keyboard, your right pinky finger, again, I'm speaking at least about US keyboards here, but depending on your layout. But where's that picture? There. Your right pinky finger rests on the semicolon, which is just not a key most people commonly press. So changing that to like a navigation key, so now you hold this and it changes these into arrows and this into home and end and this into backspace and this into whatever. That just changing like 8 or 10 of those keys, fantastic. That alone would probably convince me to get a new keyboard. I mean, if I didn't already have this one. All right, I'm gonna take a break because an ad just started. But yeah, where we left off is Mimic sheet has a side opening chest if we want to use that for the boots. Okay, then I was planning Mimic stuff. All right, is it jump time? I'm so sick of this. Is it jump time? Oh my God. All right, break. Okay, that's work. It's jump time. All right, let's just end this. Close the game. Hey, Rupert. Yeah, I want to wrap up here because I ended up streaming for a lot longer than I thought I would today already, but even longer than well, not quite longer yet, but I need to wrap this up and it's going to take me some time. So yeah, we learned that this has the side opening animation, but it does change what the chest looks like. So it looks like it faces the side, and then it opens and it could like spit the boots out to the side, I guess. Whereas this opens and the item would rise upward. But yeah, the idea of the mimic I think is really, really good. I really like that. And it would be in the dungeon when you enter. So regardless of what we talk about, getting close. close, cause it to run, where that opening looking animation, that's what it is. Yeah, looking. And maybe growl at you. Okay, so biomes. There is no transition. We have no transition. There is no way to do this without making new artwork. I did not mean to load that up. We have, for example, this. It's just a bunch of desert tiles. And then this, just a bunch of forest tiles. Where are the actual, yeah, there they are. Background, there should be foreground somewhere, right? Yeah, there it is. Ground tile orange and ground tile green. Yeah, so it's not like we can smoothly transition from desert to forest. And even if we could, I don't think I really want to do that. I don't think I want to just have you stay in the dungeon the whole time, though. Like, maybe you start in the jungle area and you enter the dungeon somehow. Or maybe we just mash them up against each other. I don't know. Oh, let's copy this. Paste this over here. Getting late. We'll check in tomorrow and see what I missed. All right, take care. You probably won't miss very much. Also, tomorrow should be a music day. I want to try to compose some music for this particular game. What are we doing here? So yeah, let's say we just change this all of a sudden. And I don't know, we just start adding some blocks like this basically. And then the background starts changing. This is really stupid. Let's just do it this way. I want to get this like kind of close enough. I don't really want to spend a lot of time on this. Because I just want to see what would happen if we just transition harshly, just directly to this desert tile set. Yeah, I think it looked pretty stupid, right? You'd probably mix them for a little bit, maybe. But then, like, why are you all of a sudden above ground? I think the biome thing is important. So my original idea was we just have like portals or something between them. And we could still do that. It still works. I think we need biomes since they communicate during the sidekick section that sidekick wasn't just in a single area. And I think we go with the original idea to have a portal send you between the biomes since there's no natural transition in the tile sets. Why am I like bummed about this? I guess because it's just easier to keep someone in a dungeon the entire time. By which I mean the dungeon tile set. Yeah, I guess it would be easier to do that. But it's not such a big deal, is it? Not really. So we need to plan your transition through the world with biomes. No, this is silly. Just going between the dungeon, right? Is it? We could mock it up, but I think it would look weird. Yeah. Hey, Fern, how's it going? Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Raiders. Let me give a shout out to Fern. Fern, I've done all but reach out to you so far about plans. I have spoken to people, and everyone has said yes to plans, and I just need to schedule a time now at some point. Hey, Starla, welcome in. I was just about to say something really fast. Let me just take a quick look before I explain what it is I'm even working on here. Is this in the background? Yeah, it is. Okay. Or it just doesn't have collision set up. All right, and we can double jump, which I also never made clear to the player. All right, so imagining that this transitions between the dungeon to another room in the dungeon. I think it could work. I think it could. And then we don't need portals. But we do need a concept of like doors or something. I guess it could just be one continuous room. I did not think of that. But that could work. It could work to just use the dungeon. And maybe even to have one continuous room. Okay, so let me explain what it is I'm working on over here. Sorry, I just wanted to finish my thought that I have. Hey, Soaps. Were you meant to have plans? Not really. I guess I don't know. I'll explain at some point. Like I said, I need to catch up on a bunch of things that are happening. And we've like slowly been getting back to our admin days where we would figure this stuff out. So I will reach out at some point. I've been behind on everything. Anyway, yeah, for those just dropping in, I am working on a game called Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. And let me delete my save file. Start a new one. I'll just randomize my hair to purple. Sure. Okay, so this is the very first game in Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. It's a series of games. And it teaches you through normal tutorial prompts, like how do you play this. But this is all pretty much just a setup. When you get over to here, you encounter what looks like a normal thing in a platformer. Try to collect the diamonds. You can't though. And you fall through the source code of the game and land in a spooky cavern. And that is your first taste of this being a broken tutorial. I will zip ahead to here. You enter an office that you don't know is an office. You a visual thinker? Look like you're visually imagining your idea in your head. No idea how aphantasia exists. I am not a visual thinker, I would say, but I don't have aphantasia. I can still envision things. And I've met some people who have it, and they say it's like picturing the world in JSON blobs. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, so now we're in this farming game, and it's sort of like a Stardew Valley satire. And yeah, you just think you're in a farming game, right? You're digging up grass and you're planting seeds. But again, this is another broken tutorial, and you've got this farm you're supposed to take care of, and some people plant some seeds and stuff, but mostly this is like a little playground. You find out your shovel can dig up fences, and you can throw your axe instead of using it to cut things down. So yeah, there's a lot of little goofy things going on here. The game that I'm working on now within this is kind of like a Metroidvania game. This probably won't work. Oh, maybe it will. Some of this doesn't have collision. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you unlock some items. I mean, they're all just right next to each other in this room. They won't be eventually. You'll have to like go through a dungeon and get them. Let me just collect all these things. So yeah, there's some like basic movement stuff. You can wall jump here. You can shoot arrows. You can actually teleport, but there's no cooldown on this, so you can just keep teleporting to the side. So yeah, not too much yet. We'll add in some enemies. We'll add in some reason for you to backtrack and use all these abilities you get. But yeah, this is what we're working on. And then you're going to eventually get to a point in this game where you find the high jump boots. And you might expect that like, oh, instead of jumping from here up to here, I'll be able to jump straight up to this platform. But instead you will rocket through the ceiling and into space. And it will become a space shooter in typical Stuck in a Broken Tutorial fashion. Thanks, Fern. Yeah, I think it's feeling pretty good too. Hey, Unknown. Yeah, we got 5 of these sub games done so far. And yeah, we're working on some of the other ones. Thanks, Mortis. Yeah. Major Grim from Hollow Knight vibes for the music when you fall into the code pit. I have not. Well, I have played Hollow Knight, but I don't know who Grim is. I played for, I think, about. Actually, maybe I played for about an hour. I don't know if you find Grim in the first hour or two of the game. And then I played Hollow Knight 2 for about 5 minutes. So I want to give them a shot again at some point. I was not a fan of Hollow Knight for some reason. It just felt very slow to me. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, so we are working through this game. Starla, please do try to mind. We have one unusual rule in this chat, and it is not to segment messages. I'm totally fine with you having a conversation with Fern still, which I assume is from a game that you've been working on. Learn mechanics while putting all your little projects in one place. Honest kind of genius. This isn't to learn mechanics, just to be clear. Like, this is just to make a game that happens to involve a bunch of other games. No, you don't have to stop talking, Starla. I want to be clear. Like the amount of words is not a problem. It's the amount of messages that's the problem. Okay, so what we were doing is trying to wrap up. I should probably write this down over here too. Is like planned how the world would look, and did some more game design around the puzzles and backtracking. Yeah, I'm super on board with this idea though. I just, it's really cool to make a bunch of kind of small games that violate your expectations in many different ways. So as another quick example here, is this playing music? Yeah. This game sets out to be kind of like Zelda, right? You look at a sign, there's a sort of a silly little, like, the dungeon, you know, Link to Rescuing the Prince. It's like, okay, this is supposed to be like Zelda. You break bases, you get coins. It's all kind of Zelda-ish, right? You eventually work your way through a few of these floors and make it to here, where you unlock bombs. And then you could place a bomb here and you'll notice like it's regular size. When you place it next to this wall, you expect to blow up the wall and go into the staircase, right? But you actually place a giant bomb and it destroys the entire floor. And then this changes like genres entirely. It's now no longer a Zelda game, really. It uses the same mechanics of swinging your sword and everything. But now it's an endless runner style game. And your goal is to get as many coins as possible so you can move faster. And you get power-ups along the way. And it's just infinitely generated dungeon here. So I'll just speed this up. I'll get a bunch of power-ups. Now I can dash through things. I can hurt them as I dash through them. I have a coin magnet, which attracts coins to me. I have a shield, which makes me lose fewer coins. I can still place bombs down and blow things up. So I find this game in particular pretty fun. It's neat to get all these coins and like just race through stuff. And then yeah, once you get the maximum number of coins, you, one, move super fast, and two, can eventually get to this little ending section here, where you just move at like super speed, collect a ton of coins, and work your way back into this little spooky area where you will advance the story some more. Find out more about why you're here. Yeah, like this looks like it's a bug that I'm just kind of floating here, but like we don't have a jump in this game, so this is how you move. And usually playtesters see this and they're like, oh, that's pretty funny. I like it. Take care, Charlotte. Again, just to be clear, there's no problem with the amount of words. I want to be clear that it's not like a, hey, stop talking. It was just consolidate your messages. That's all. Yeah. Limits character count. Yeah. It's totally fine. I think YouTube has like a 200 character limit. Twitch has a 500 character limit. Yeah. Okay, the other thing I got to do over here is apply the same changes that were made to the dungeon tile set to the rest of the tile sets so that I have a usable terrain tool. There are two of these things though. What am I supposed to click here? Maybe we'll find that really fast. Just putting this in the foreground. They don't have collision. I got to set that up too. Need to set up collision for those tiles. Hey, Mana. Welcome in. Okay, so we have a terrain tool here, and there are two of these. There's path mode. There's connect mode. Did I write down what the difference is between these? because I don't remember. Path. Is the previous tile painted within the same stroke? I probably just need to try it and see what happens. Okay. That is interesting. Yeah, so I should probably make a note about this. Let's just delete everything and all of that stuff too. And I'll just take a screenshot of these two things. So this is path and this is, what's the other one called? Connect. All right, so path and connect. Drawn from center. Well, both are drawn from the center, spiraling out. I guess it doesn't really matter. Repeating shower hair. Yeah. That was never the plan. To make it clearer what the difference is between the path and connect tools, take a look at what's below. In both, I drew from the center spiraling outward clockwise, right? Yeah. I'll put that in parentheses. The path only connects to the single prior tile, whereas connect tool makes them look like a continuous object. Only every 100 years. I'm actually a lich. Okay. All right, so biomes. I think we need to mess around with this. I need to prototype this. Prototype what it would look like to have Sidekick only going between the dungeon areas. They should probably be real rooms from the game, just without the treasure chests. Or maybe the chests exist, but you can't get to them. And then, yeah, figure out if we want one continuous world with no real gaps anywhere. I think that sounds appealing. But it may make the sidekick sections harder. Hey, Relio, it's going really well. How are you doing? It's been a pretty solid honestly, last a lot of time. Other than when I kind of overworked and needed to take a vacation, I think we've just been making really, really good progress on the game. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to look at here, we don't have many tiles when it comes to the dungeon. And we could mix and match a little bit. Where's the dungeon? I keep forgetting this is in Portuguese. Props and objects. Yeah, so we don't have a lot there. We just have this stuff. There are no doors, right? No, there are doors. But they're not doors you probably... Maybe you could walk through them. We don't have a door opening animation. But we could have the open door transition you to another room. I think that makes the most sense. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. In fact, maybe you have to shoot the arrow at a door to break it. Like the first arrow does this, and the second arrow like fades the door away completely. Yeah, because I think we need rooms for the sake of Sidekick going between these areas. Then again, we don't really. We would still need to make like fake rooms for the Sidekick section. may make the mini map easier. I wonder what that would be. Like legend told of a man who showered the night before his workday. And now you should be wary of different hairstyles. Maybe it's a really, really important job interview. Maybe it's an interview with aliens. They're going to take over the planet, but they need someone with the right hairstyle. And you, knowing this legend, with your dying breaths, pass it on. You save humanity. Everyone cheers your name. Unknown, unknown. And you'll go down in history being the most known unknown. Okay, I think there is a lot of organizational work left to do here, followed by a whole lot of implementation. But I think that's for another day because I've streamed for longer than 6 hours today. So yeah, here's the plan. Tomorrow is going to be music day. Gonna try to make music for the Metroidvania game, for the non-space shooter part of it. And then yeah, have I heard back anything about having a Steam page? No. One of these days, one of these days my game will actually be on Steam. I submitted it last week, but then they rejected it for having a link in the description. Yeah, so I resubmitted it yesterday. I guess you go to the back of the queue when that happens. See, this is why you were the lore master of Skelliseller. All right, well, thank you all for watching. I'll go find someone to raid. It was a pretty solid day. I'm hoping tomorrow is productive. Oh, hey, I don't know if I've ever gotten a raid Manisha, but she's streaming right now. Excuse me. I'm saying she's raiding right now. I don't know if she's still going to be online. But I think she's raided us before too. Let's go raid her. Give her a shout. I'll be back tomorrow. It'll just be a half day. And then Friday will hopefully be a full day. Yeah, I think that's it. So have a good rest of your days, everybody. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.